If you have a tough nut to crack, then you need a crusher. It's the MOBIREX MR130Z EVO2, and that's quite a mouthful. It's a mobile impact crusher made by Kleemann. The review model comes in a Kleemann branded box, and if we look at the side we see there are some technical details of the real crusher. Moving on further, and at the end of the sleeve we see that this is a Conrad model. But this version is a limited edition, and it's in the colours of the Italian company Vitali. Let's go straight to the Cranes etc. weighbridge, and we record a weight of nearly 3 pounds 10 ounces, or metrically speaking 1.64 kilograms. The main packaging slides out from the sleeve, and the first thing we see is an instruction leaflet, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. There's big Conrad branding on the top of the lid, and when we take it off we get our first sight of the model. After that it's a job for the giant hand cranes to lift out the crusher, and in the box there are also a couple of other parts. Last but not least there's also a small bag, and that contains a lighting post. Here is the instruction sheet, and it shows the model in Kleemann colours, and it describes the main functionality pictorially. Before we start, just a reminder that you can see a lot more about models on the Cranes etc. website, and the link to it is in the video description below. Also, if you want to know where you can buy scale models, then you can click on links on the website, including those in the shopping mall. And listed here are dealers that sell models in countries across the world. We will assemble the model fully, and to begin with we'll add the optional screen. It hooks over at one end, and once you've located it, you then fix it on either side with a couple of clips. There's one part that hooks over, and we'll try and fix that first. And once you've located it, you can then secure the clip part. And this has to be done on both sides of the model. Next we add on the side conveyor from the pre-screen, and that can be fixed on either side of the machine. Firstly, you have to feed it in and locate it in position, and then we have a strut which locks it into place at the correct angle. After that there's one more part to fix, and that's a lighting post which fixes into a preformed hole. So now we have the complete model, so let's put it back on the Cranes etc. weighbridge, and it's just under 3 pounds, or a metric 1.35 kilograms. We go underneath for our first look at the detail, and the tracks are plastic, and there are one or two other plastic parts underneath, but with a reasonable colour match. The rubber belts look convincing, and at the feed hopper end the structure is modelled well. The machine name is shown in sharp graphics, and the detailing under the hopper is very good, including modelled spring shapes. The hopper sides are also metal. The track frames are simple like the real machine, and although the track bands are plastic, they look good enough. On this side of the machine there's some very nice detailing, and that's both in the casting and with the very sharp graphics. We also see Vitali rendered on the grille. The handrails on the model are thin and made of metal. The pre-screen is made of plastic, and there are nice rubber strips which prevent flyout from the crusher. Looking around the work platform there are nice textured walkway surfaces, and moving to the other side of the crusher there's more nice detailing within the castings. There are various ladders modelled, and these are modelled in plastic. Above the discharge conveyor is an exhaust system, and you can also see the magnetic conveyor, which is used to separate any metal parts within the arisings. The optional screen is modelled to the same standard as the rest of the model, and it's got some nice detailing. The side screen is fairly simple with robust supports. Let's go back under the machine and test out the crawler tracks, and they roll easily enough by hand. Another nice part of the functionality on the model is the conveyor belts. They are made of a soft rubber-like material and you can move them. So it is nicer than just having fixed or solid belts, and it is a way that you can use to exercise your fingers. The rubber track bands on the model are fairly tight so they won't roll easily on a smooth surface. But if you give them something to bite onto, they roll quite well. The side conveyor rotates out from its transport position, and there's also some adjustment available on the discharge height. To get the crusher ready for work, the discharge hopper sides have to be assembled. They fold down to reduce the transport width, and once you lift the sides up, you clip them into place with support bars, and the end of these clip into pre-formed holes. Next, we take a quick run around the various ladders on the model. There is a ladder on each side and they both fold down. And there's also an access ladder on the underside of the hopper. Next, we have an opening flap above the entrance to the crusher, and the rubber deflectors are suspended from it. With the model ready for work, we can amuse ourselves by rolling the conveyor belts. The conveyor belt even works on the small side conveyor. Another thing you can adjust on the model is the metal conveyor, and you can raise it in or out of service. To display the model, you could pose it with loading equipment, but another option is to use it as a transport load. It is a heavy load, so the truck we're actually using may be a little bit underpowered. But in the Cranes etc. model world, I think we'll get away with it. This is a heavy and typically robust model by Conrad. In that respect, it reflects the real machine perfectly, and the model also has very good functionality and detailing. It looks great in the limited edition colours of Vitali, and overall as a mobile crusher model, it is very good.